Note to self on a Monday, you still need coffee. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy Monday. Oh, that's your coffee?
Yes.
Oh, mine is right here. I hope that you...
Oh my God. You have coffee and I have coffee.
Oh my God, we're so cool.
Yours is gone.
I had a sip
Did you
left.
just pretend?
No, I had a sip left.
She just pretended to take a drink of her coffee.
So good. This
wanted to
coffee
be
is
cool.
incredible.
She wanted to be cool like me.
Let me tell you. So we moved to Nashville 2 weeks ago. By the way, good morning. We are Erin and Sarit.
This is our third week.
We are nearing week number 3. You're right. We're coming up on our 3rd week here in Nashville, and as coffee lovers, I can tell you that the coffee scene here is off the chain. Yeah, Florida's coffee scene was very underwhelming, to say the least. Dunkin' Donuts, no thank you. Where are all my coffee people on a Monday morning? If you're a coffee person, go ahead and drop coffee and let us know what is your favorite coffee in the chat.
And what would happen if Erin and Sarit created a coffee shop local?
If we were to ever create...
Don't tell them our secrets.
No, I'm not. But I'm curious to know. Okay, first of all, where are all of my coffee people at? Yes, Tennessee does coffee right. I'm with you, Sherilyn. I'm with you. Okay, who else is a coffee person? Coffee, it's Slash Lisa Lawrence. I hear you loud and clear.
Melissa likes the Wawa.
Wawa for real, Melissa. Oh, I used to drink that shit when I lived in Jersey. They used to have all of those like flavored creamers, and then when I learned more about health and what goes into that shit, I'm like, no, thank you.
When you learned.
No, thank you. Okay, so all of you guys are coffee people. Well, since you guys are a coffee people, I'm curious. If we were to ever...
Isn't there a coffee shop called Coffee People?
Probably.
I think in the Pacific Northwest. Any PN Dubs in the house. Do they have a Coffee People? I'm pretty sure.
PN Dubs?
Pacific Northwest.
PN Dub. Where does the dub come from? Oh, dub for W. Oh, okay. All right.
Also, I don't know if people actually say that. I just made it up. Anyways, what I'm saying, I'm pretty sure that Coffee People is an actual coffee shop. All right, my tangent's done.
Okay, but question for you guys. Drop a yes in the chat. If we were to ever, that's once, yes, gym and yes, farm and all the things are all set up. If we were to, just for funsies, start to create like yes brews, who in here would be down for that and would want to try it out and perhaps get themselves some bags or beans of ES brews? Go ahead and drop ES in the chat. I want to see you. Because Erin and I, when we wake up every single morning, we either complain about the weather, just kidding, or we wake up and we're full of ideas. And ES brews, hell yeah. Okay, got it. Okay, while you guys are getting your coffee on or whatever it may be, we just want to begin with a couple of updates before we get into today's content. Today, we're going to be talking about boundaries. So last episode, we talked about how to create a stress-free holiday, and we talked about the importance of setting up a routine and creating structure. And in order for us to do that, in order to create streamlined consistency, what is important is that we set boundaries around that, because, it's like the bowling alley, right? Boundaries, it's like, unless you are an incredible bowler, like if you're like me and you go to the bowling alley, you would probably benefit from having those lane borders, bumpers, right? So boundaries are the same thing to your schedule and to your routine.
Are you saying life boundaries are for people who are not good at life?
No, I'm saying is it makes it smooth. It makes
I
life
think you're
smooth.
saying I think you're saying life boundaries are for people who are not good at life. I'm just kidding. You said if they're not, if they're not good at bowling, then you put up the bumpers.
Well, it increases the likelihood of success for people who are not good at bowling. But in order for us, I hear what you're saying, and you're right.
Increases the 100% chance of at least getting one pin.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, so I see that right now there's 7 of you guys in the chat. Where are you guys?
I'll take some.
Like, are you
bumpers. I'll take
snoozing
some
for the
training
holidays
wheels.
already? We're only on the 9th. Just kidding. I don't know what you guys are doing. But okay, so out of 7 people who are live with us, 5 of you guys said that you will be down for some ES brews. So that's like 80%. I take it as a good sign. All right. That being said, you guys, let's begin with some updates.
Didn't we do updates?
No.
Oh.
No.
Update them away.
It's the pre-show, and now we're in updates. So update number 1. Today we are on day number 9 of the Fit and Lean Challenge, where a bunch of us are testing out this supplement that seems to be like a huge trend that is completely ethical from a body leanness and body goals standpoint. So a bunch of us are testing it out. I just want to give you guys updates.
It's also day 9 of the 1 mile a day running challenge for December.
And how many? Where are you at mileage wise?
Exactly 9.
Me too. I'm on day 9.
Exactamundo.
Mm-hmm. So for those of you guys who are not doing the Fit and Lean Challenge, I just want to give some shout outs because it seems like things are working really, really well. And I just want to share some of the things that I've seen from the chat over the weekend. Oh, come on. I'm scrolling up.
Out of time.
I'm about to start finding it right now because people are starting to drop it. No. Okay.
I'm about to get into the topic.
Okay, all right. So one person said result for week 1 down 1/4 inch in chest, down 3/4 inch in waist, down 1/4 inch in hips, and down almost 2 pounds. And that's during the month of December. Person number 2 is...
That's Morgenthaler. I think she just posted that in the group.
Well, 2 Melissas. There's also another Melissa Farmer. Yeah. Morgenthaler, 15 pounds down, but she started 1 week ahead. And the other person is down 2.9 pounds. Laura's down 2.9 pounds this week. I think I saw a couple more scores.
Okay, 10 seconds.
Yep.
5.
Oh, another person is down 2 pounds. Another person is down 4.7 pounds in 1 week. Another person is down 4 pounds and 2.35 inches. So it's pretty cool what we're creating. It's really just a test month. And I have a question for you guys. If we were to do a community-wide challenge in January so that we can, get this party started on the momentum train, who of you would be interested? Go ahead and drop challenge in the chat.
Community-wide Fit and Lean Challenge?
No. Like an ES challenge. Yeah, like an ES style challenge. You know how we roll. If you would be interested and down for that, I want to see who of you would be down. Go ahead and drop challenge in the chat. All right. While you're dropping your questions, that does it for... Oh, one more update. One more update.
Who's asking questions?
I asked them a question.
I know you said as soon as you're done dropping your questions.
Oh, and then Sherlynn's doing
challenge?
this challenge as well. She's
right.
done 1.4 pounds. That's awesome. Yeah, it seems to be working pretty cool. But yeah, we're considering doing a challenge in January, and I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. If you would be down for a challenge, game on, challenge. Okay, cool. Great, good to know. Also, before we wrap up the year, one of the things that we say is that if we fail to plan, we plan to fail. So before we go off for the holidays, just so you know, to set you up for success going into 2025, so that 2025 can be the most confident and productive year ever. We are hosting, and by we, I mean Callie and I, we are hosting an event next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Time. That is 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is going to be on Zoom, so it will require you to register. So if you have not yet got your name down for that, would love to see you there. I'm just dropping the link right now. So just click on that link.
It's simple. It's just https://
Just click on the link.
US.
It's a Zoom link. What do you want me to do? It's a Zoom link.
I'm just being funny.
Gosh, I'm just doing a kumbaya Zoom. So feel free to join me. I'd love to see you there.
Remember the ad that we did with the dumbbells? Oh no!
A lot of ads.
No. The one where I slap the food out of your hand and you grab the goldfish. Gosh.
Oh yeah.
Every time you say "gosh," I think about that part of the ad.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Okay, boundaries. So we already talked about that.
I am setting a boundary right here.
Okay.
Your knee is touching mine, and I'm over it.
Okay, so that's a great segue for the intention of why do we set boundaries in the first place? So why do you want to set a boundary between mine and yours? Is it creating more heat around your knee, lady?
Listen, whoever has a sibling, if you have a sibling that you shared a bedroom with when you were kids, put sibling in the comments right now. Did you and Shaka ever share a room?
No.
Oh my gosh. You will not even know then. This is what we used to do. I swear 100% of siblings did this if they shared a room. You make some kind of border. You make some kind of borderline that this is your side and this is my side, and don't cross over it's either duct tape or it's like socks. Put socks in the middle of the room or a blanket. Something goes in the middle of the room. You guys know what I'm talking about. And you're like, and then there's always the one asshole sibling who's like, just puts their toe right over the line. Oh! Because you like to test the boundaries. Listen, I'm not going to deny it.
Did you have
I like to test the limits.
So how did you call it when you share a room? Is there like a term for it?
No.
Oh, just share a room. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't share a room with my sibling, but I shared a room with someone when I first came to America.
Yeah, that's true. Roommates.
Roommate. Literally, but roommates, not in the same house. In the
usually
same
you're a little
freaking room.
Yes, I know. I did too. But usually by the time you get to college, you've grown up at least outside of I'm literally going to put duct tape in the middle of our room. Stay on your side.
Okay, but listen. Listen.
Tape on the floor, Lisa knows.
So I come from the Middle East. Do we have any Italians or Latinas in the house? If you're either Italian or a Latina. Something that I have seen in America as an international woman is that American women in general are very messy. And for Latinas, Italians, Middle Easterns.
Hold on, before we get to this.
Hold on. Just hold on real quick. Let me finish this.
I'm going to defend us, okay?
And it drives us nuts. In junior year in college, I lived in a dorm with 4 American women, and they were so messy. And imagine sharing a toilet where 4 women get their period and only one of them cleans. Number one, that was a great leadership challenge. Number two, it wasn't fun.
Number three,
Italian.
number three, how many demographics, age-wise, women have you lived with who are American?
Well, that's true.
Because they're also college kids. Every college kid's freaking messy.
No, that's not true.
Unless they did, like, had parents who made them, like, actually, if you have parents that made you do chores, you probably didn't want to do them in college because you're like, screw this, and now I don't have to. But you're making a very big generalization about American women, and all you've lived with are college ones.
That's true.
So you are not, your study is incomplete. You must now go live with all different types of women, different colors, different ages.
So listen,
different jobs.
By the time,
and then your study will be complete. You will have all the data. It will be diverse data.
You're right.
And then you will have a statement to the people of America. Okay.
My study, I do agree my study is not as diverse, but it's all based on experience. By the time I got to senior year, I got smart because I followed my patterns, and I'm like, I'm gonna have one roommate and she's gonna be a Latina, and both of our sides were clean, and it was amazing.
And also, you lived with exactly one Latina. Your study is so incomplete. Also, like, how long of a year period, like how long of a time frame did you do your study for?
4 years.
On the same 3 people?
No,
the same?
No, it was different every time. My freshman roommate, I'm like, we did not mesh well. It's like, when there's just no chemistry. We had zero chemistry, and we were both like nice and civil to one another. Like, it was civil with everyone.
When I was in college and I had a roommate, I just hijacked you. I don't even care. I became best friends with the person that was roommates with the person that became best friends with my roommate. So like, we were best friends, but like a crisscross applesauce.
Were you best friends, or were you?
No.
Best friends. Because in sophomore year, my best friend, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that wasn't until later where my best friend was. Not in college though. No.
But sophomore year, I actually ended up moving in with my best friend, because she was my best friend, and
the last couple of espressos have been
hilarious. We can do like two episodes on code of conduct and about college, but
we haven't even gotten to.
But let's just say that junior year, we no longer
we're best friends anymore.
Room together. No, we had a thing. She just didn't have the courage to get real with herself. So whatever. I was the crazy one. Okay. Anyways.
Whatever, loser.
So then I lived with her roommate junior year. How gay. And then I was like, you know what? I'm over this shit. Come senior year, I roomed with a Latina, and we're like 2 peas in a pod, and that's when I got my nickname SPD. Not Speedy, SPD.
For sure, definitely does not mean that you're fast.
Yeah. And then I lived with a gay boy in grad school. It's been great. I've been all around the block, guys. I've been all around the block.
Oh my gosh. Aaron and Sarit unplugged.
So
eventually we'll get to the purpose of a boundary.
So this whole conversation about college was about the fact that when I lived with my first roommate in freshman year, and I was like, okay, we have a different standard when it comes to cleanliness. I had like my little broom and my little Swiffer in the side by the window, and I would, like, my shit was Swiffered and broomed every single day, and like she would do hers like once a month, and I'm like, It's like, when there's like stains on the floor, and it's like, that soda and shit got spilled back in that day. I drank like half a pack of like
Diet Coke.
half a 12 pack of Diet Coke every single day. But it's like,
Every day?
yeah. Yeah. And she did too. We had, our little mini fridges under our beds.
Just chain drinking them Diet Cokes.
Yeah. So it's like her little Diet Coke smears were on her side. I'm like,
Girl, get your Diet Coke
not
smears.
On my side. You ain't gonna know that I had my Diet Coke and chocolate.
Ooh, girl, you got some Diet Coke smears.
Yeah, but like way overdue, like
man.
floor cleaning. Anyways,
okay, so we're talking about the purpose and benefit of boundaries, or why do we set them in the first place? Okay, just thinking about the knee situation here. It's like if something makes you uncomfortable, or you're not interested, or you have a goal, or any and all of the above. Like if you think about, why would I divide the room? It's like, I guess there are other reasons. You could be like, this stuff belongs to me. And like, that's super scarce and not abundant. But I think for the most part, it's like, either, let's think about a boundary. Like, you give yourself a certain amount of alcoholic beverages you'll have in a week. By the way, I have not even had one this month.
Me either. I don't think since the live event.
Anyways.
It's exactly 1 month since our live event. Boundaries.
Yeah. So if I'm at a party and I say I'm going to have no more than 12 alcohol drinks in the month, and you go to this party and somebody offers you a drink, but you know that that's not your intention, that's not what you want to have that night, that's not when you want to drink it, and the boundary is like being able to say no and separate like this thing that I don't want to participate in for any reason, or I don't want to have around me or my environment, to set yourself up for really making the journey more enjoyable and not as tempting to go off track.
Yeah. The whole point of boundaries is really to create structure. And when it comes to creating boundaries, we can create boundaries under different, what I like to call, mechanisms. So we can do it under the mechanism of time. So for example, let's say if like, I'll tell you, I'm the type of person where if I know that I have less than 7 hours in total time in bed, the next day my energy levels will just be lower. And quite frankly, I don't like living life that way. I find myself a little bit more emotional. I find myself
hungrier.
I find myself a little bit more reactive. I find myself a lot less productive, and I find myself being more resistant to just things that are just a part of my day-to-day life. And that's not a way that I want to live. So for example, creating a boundary around time, it's like, okay, well, let's say if you know that you have some kind of, this time of year, there's like holiday gatherings and like events for things like that all the time. If you are similar to that, what sort of time boundary do you get to create so that you can, let's say if you are going to a holiday gathering, you can be home at a certain time so that you can go to bed at a certain time, so that you can wake up the next day at a certain time and feel in a certain way, right? So that's like, that's just one example under boundaries where we manipulate time. We can also set a boundary where we manipulate time. Maybe some of you guys, like with how your day is structured, the best time for you to work out maybe is at noon. But maybe you literally have a 75-minute window where you get to do your workout, maybe shower up, and then, like get back to the office. So it's a very like intense, let's say 75 minutes. In order for you to create that, to honor it, and to make sure that you don't skip your workout, because the consequence is if I am not fitting it in within the 75 minutes, it's like, oh, like that day is squashed, basically. It's around creating boundaries. So maybe you make sure that you get to your workout on time and you start right on the dot, which means that maybe you close your laptop at a certain time, maybe 10 minutes prior to, or get in the car, or do whatever, or put your shoes on, or do whatever you got to do so that your start and finish can be honored. Now, one thing to note with regards to setting time boundaries that I want to share with all of you guys is it is always really helpful to start with the end in mind. So for example, and by the way, as I'm sharing this with you, I'd love to know what sort of time boundaries do you know that you would benefit from? Maybe it's a bedtime boundary. Maybe it's a lunchtime boundary. Maybe it's an evening boundary. Maybe there gets to be a boundary of you really getting away from your phone at a certain time, because you know that if you're on your phone for a certain time, that can leak into other parts of the night, and then that can mess up your next day. But I want you to think for yourself, as I'm talking about time, what sort of time boundary do you know that you would benefit from? Because that's going to make a big, big difference on your performance, having clarity on that. Man, I was going to share some. So with regards to time boundaries, it is always really helpful to start with the end in mind. So Jeanette, for example, I'm going to give you coaching because you know that time boundary that would be beneficial for you is bedtime. What time do you get to wake up every single morning in order for you to get to work, get your workout in, or whatever is your first daily obligation? Whether it's making breakfast for your husband, whether it's waking up your kid, whether it's working out. Okay. And how many hours of sleep do you need on a regular basis in order for you to be a decent human being for everyone around you and for you to enjoy your day a little bit more? What time is that? Or how many hours do you need to sleep? 7, but I only get 6. Okay, so I'm telling you right now that your breakdown, Jeanette, is if you know you got to wake up at 5 a.m. and 7 will make you a decent human being, and you're getting 6. You're getting 6 because you have some kind of boundary issue. That's where your breakdown is. Your breakdown is not actually bedtime. It's what happens that is keeping you away from that. That's why so many people tell me, Suri, nutrition is my problem. And then as I ask more questions, I realize with a lot of people, I'll tell you that nutrition is not actually your problem. Boundaries is your problem. Or something else is your problem. But a lot of times what we think is the problem is not actually the problem. So Jeanette, if you're hopping to the MDBS Q&A, I can give you more direct coaching on that. Okay. But I'm just giving you guys an example. Okay. So that's that with regards to time. Now,
if you think about it, and if you think anybody who creates a calendar, you got like things going on, all of these start and end times are boundaries. Mm-hmm. The question is, do you stick to them? Because it's not setting the boundary that's usually the hardest. It's sticking to it.
Yeah.
Which is discipline and self-control.
Yeah. So boundary number 2 is object related. Say yes in the chat to the following question. I'm curious, who in here is more inclined to eat pizza when you see pizza in front of you? Drop a yes if this is relatable to you. So what I mean...
So I want to paint the picture. It's like if you see pizza But you weren't thinking about pizza. You were not thinking about pizza. You had no idea of pizza in your mind. You didn't want to get pizza. You know, nothing. And then you see the pizza and then you're like, ooh, now I want to eat the pizza. Right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Same thing when you walk into like a movie theater. You didn't like, you smell the popcorn on purpose. And then you're like, I must get it. Mm-hmm. It's like an alien takes over.
Mm-hmm.
And you think you have to get popcorn. And then, of course, when you're there, you also get some candy and stuff too. But that's my entertainment segment.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for you to comment.
So
the smell gets me every time. You know what? We would all be doomed if they started making commercials smellable. Man, that's
you should tell them the story about when we went house hunting this weekend.
No. That's actually a great idea. I should make commercials smellable and sell it to the company making the commercial. Genius. And they smell Chick-fil-A. Actually, does Chick-fil-A even have commercials? Anyways, I don't know. Doesn't matter. When we went house hunting, we went to the gym and the lady said, the wall is scratch and sniff. And I was like, you're trying to play a joke on me. I'm not about to come up in here, probably a camera right there, and I'm sniffing the wall. Like she's like, no, I'm not kidding. And then she did it. I was like, okay, you did it. I'm going to do it. And it smelled like oranges.
Yeah, it's wild.
Weird.
Yeah.
Who ever heard of a schnozberry? What movie is that from?
Don't know. Couldn't tell you. I sleep through all the movies.
Somebody's going to say it in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
My money is on Sherilyn.
Who ever heard of a schnozberry? They're all going to know it. I didn't do it very well, though.
If Daisy was here, for sure Daisy will know it.
Everybody would know.
I feel like Daisy watches movies like my mom. My mom goes to the movie theater like 2 times per week. It's crazy. She knows every single movie out there.
Boom.
Willy Wonka. Okay. All right, Priscilla, you win. Good to see you, Priscilla. It's been a minute.
Daisy is here.
Daisy took you too long.
Type faster.
I put my bets on you.
Type faster next time.
Anyways, okay. So our objects. So you guys said, yes, if pizza is around me, I'm more likely to eat it. So here's the thing. Eventually, we all will. Some of us within 1 minute, some of us within 10 minutes, some of us within 10 hours, some of us within 10 days. But eventually, it's going to happen. Why? Because what we surround ourselves with, we become. So boundaries around objects could be in the form of pizza. Any distraction that would get you off track. So for example, if you know that, we talked about routines for with regards to creating a stress-free holiday on the last episodes, but let's say after watching last week's episode, you created some kind of structure and intention, and let's say the intention was to allot yourself, I don't know, like 5 days of having desserts this month. And then right in front of you, there's a bowl of Lindt chocolate that's going to sit around all month long. Regardless of how strong your willpower is, eventually it is going to get inside you. It just will. So that is the importance of setting boundaries around objects. And that can be in the form of food. That can be in the form of drinks. That can be in the form of devices like, technology. That can be very distracting from the main intention, whatever it may be. Yeah, what's up?
Do you guys want to know how my brain goes? You said you are what you become what you surround yourself with. And also we've heard the term you are what you eat. So this is where my brain went. Do you remember that show, Doug?
No.
You know Doug with Patty Mayonnaise and Skeeter?
No.
I'm pretty sure that's the cartoon. Do you guys remember Doug? Okay, anyways, I'm pretty sure it was Doug. And one of his best friend was Skeeter, but I think there was another guy named Pizza Face. Or that was a different show. But I was like, he must have eaten the dang pizza. My brain went down that whole loophole.
Mm.
He must have eaten the dang pizza. What cartoon is the guy Pizza Face? Anyways, carry on. Number 3.
Yeah, so boundary number 3 is boundary around people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That can be a specific person, that can be a general thing. So I will share with you like a people boundary that I have is beyond 7:30 p.m. in general. My people boundary is like I'm disconnected. And no one can get in touch with me, can get in touch with me, not even my mom. Why? Because I want to honor my routine. And it is not a personal thing. It's so that when I am on, I'm on for whoever I get to be on all the time, right? So that's just one example. Okay. The other one can be dependent just based on the elements of your life and also the state of being that you want to live your life through. So for example, we all know at least one person in our life who's probably really negative. Yes? Drop on me if you're like, yes, I know at least one person in my life who is really negative.
I would not say in my life, but I'd say I know.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, they're either in your life actively or you've taken some kind of boundary.
Very true.
So in order to maintain some kind of sanity or whatever state of being you want to have, you either limit exposure depending on what the relationship is, depending on, where you get to meet them where they're at, but also where you get to honor yourself. Because we become not just what we surround ourselves with, but who we surround ourselves with. Right? So when it comes to boundaries around people, we create boundaries in a way where we either are all at any given point in time, we're either reaching up, we're at the same level, or we're being distracted or brought down. Right? So based on the frequency and what the elements of the relationship are in relation to where you want to go in your life, my encouragement for all of you guys is you get to discern what level of boundary do you want to create in order to maintain your sanity. You know what I mean? So for example, broadcasting this is actually a form of boundary because in a matter of 60 minutes, we're able to share with what seems to be 11 of you guys live right now instead of saying the same thing 11 times, which will take 11 hours. You know what I mean? So
wait, that's a boundary?
It is a boundary because the espresso is 1 hour and we're talking to 11 people. Now, the intention around it is not to, we're doing it to create a boundary. No, it's actually not that. It's to add value and broadcast. But the boundary is around time. And within that time, instead of talking to one person, we're talking to however many of you guys hop on.
That just sounds like efficiency to me.
It is efficiency. So boundaries. What's the difference
between a boundary and efficiency?
So that's actually a really great segue. So it all comes down to intention, because the intention of a boundary can be to increase efficiency.
Okay. I found the solution over here to Pizza Face. Okay. So update. It's not Doug. Definitely not a cartoon at all. Do you guys remember Nickelodeon? You know Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch all that?
With Nick Cannon? Yes.
That's the show it's from. They're best friends. This guy big ears in the Pizza Face.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that, but good to know.
He must have eaten the pizza. Turned into one. Oh, Ear Boy. That's his name. Pizza Face and Ear Boy.
So, anyways, real quick.
Anyways.
As we wrap this
up. Wait,
there's
one serious thing I want to say though.
Okay.
Boundaries, time, things, and people.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the three, which one is the hardest? Out of the three, which one is the hardest? I know it's lagging a little bit, so I'm not going to wait for the comments, but people definitely, because my phone doesn't have any feelings. I can turn off notifications on all apps. Nobody's feelings are going to get hurt. No relationship is going to be messed up. I can throw away chocolate that somebody left at my house, and like, I guess maybe as long as somebody doesn't know, that nobody's feelings are going to get hurt. Every time it has to do with people, emotions, feelings, like it just becomes a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
It's not impossible. And because, especially like if you're a good person and you care about people, you definitely don't want to hurt their feelings. You definitely don't want. Now, the reality is, like, you do not get to control anyone's feelings, and you also can't control the stories that they create in their mind about why you choose to do what you choose to do. They're making up stories based on, if they were in your shoes, what they would choose to do, or how they would feel if they said this thing or did that thing to somebody. And it has nothing to do with you. But because we understand that people have feelings and people have history and stories that we make up, we want to definitely be, classy about boundaries that we set, especially regarding people.
Mm-hmm.
So it is most challenging one. Mm-hmm. But, I say if two people in a relationship are not happy, then, or if at least one person isn't, then neither of them are. So it's better to just not be in that relationship. Or you have a filter on certain relationships where there's certain things you'll say and talk about, and there's certain things you set a boundary. There's certain people that, like, I just won't talk to about business. I won't talk to about money, because our views are just so completely different that it just, and the way the conversation ends up going is not fruitful for anyone. So I've set a an audible boundary, like an information sharing boundary, a conversation topic boundary, right? There's all different kinds, but with people, it's definitely the most complex.
Yeah. So just as we wrap this up, boundaries are necessary for efficiency, effectiveness, and also consistency with regards to your routine, which is what we talked about on the last episode. And as you heard all of this today, what is the one boundary that you get to honor as you head into the holiday season? I don't know what that looks like for you based on your life's mechanics, but if you listen to this, don't just say, okay, I was on espresso today. It's like, no, it's the decision that you make from this episode that is going to really set you up for success.
I want you to post whatever it is in the Facebook group. So go to the ES Facebook group and post what is one boundary. This is going to be amazing as like a waterfall. If every single 14 of you went into the Facebook group and said, hey, ES Army, here's the boundary I'm setting for myself during the holidays, like make a post with yours or comment on it, and like, what's your boundary?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're committed to making a post right after this, go ahead and drop committed. And lastly, as we wrap this up, just a reminder that on next Wednesday, on the 18th, we are hosting a special live virtual event to set you up for success as we head into 2025. And you will need to register in order to save your seat. So you can just go ahead and click on the link that I just dropped in order to do that if your name is not already on the list. And then lastly, oh my gosh, there's something else that I was going to say, but I forgot. Yes, I remember. Yes. Next episode is on Thursday, same time, same place. And
invite your homies.
Yes. If you found value in this episode, our ask of you is please share it with at least one person so that we can create the ripple effect, because a rising tide rises all ships. And ultimately, the reason why Erin and I and everyone on our team, the reason why we do what we do is because Empowerment starts from within. Nothing external is going to change your life. Nothing. It's how we show up for ourselves each and every single day. And that's the value with what we teach here. And we're on a mission to provide empowerment, confidence, and freedom for honestly as many people as we can. Our goal is millions through the same movement, nutrition, and lifestyle habits that have transformed ours. So if you spend time with us today, our ask of you is just please pay it forward. When you receive, give. Okay. That being said, you guys, wishing you an incredible day ahead, wishing you a powerful week ahead, and we'll see you guys on Thursday. Much love.
Bye.